Hello friends, this is Professor Parth Thakkar and today we are going to learn general heat conduction equation for the Cartesian coordinates. In our heat transfer subject, we have already solved so many numericals which is based on one directional heat flow. We have already seen numericals of heat transfer from plane wall, composite wall, heat transfer from cylindrical geometry and spherical geometry, but in all that numericals we have considered that flow of heat in a particular one direction. In case of cylinder, we have considered flow of heat in a radial direction. In case of plane wall, we have considered flow of heat in a x direction, in the right hand side direction. But there are some practical cases of the system in which heat is traveling simultaneously from more than one direction, as well as it is a function of time with some space coordinate. So it is required to derive one general equation for the different coordinates. Generally we have three coordinates: Cartesian coordinates, or we can say that a rectangle coordinates, cylindrical coordinates and spherical coordinates. So in our today's session we are going to derive general heat conduction equation for rectangular coordinates, or we can say that a Cartesian coordinates. So first we need to consider one volume which is shown in figure. In this volume, consider one small element which is look like this. So if in a Cartesian coordinates, if I want to locate a particular point with the exact location, then I required three variable x, y and z. With value of this three variable x, y and z in a Cartesian coordinate, I can locate any point accurately. Now you can see from this element, this is one side which is dx, which is parallel to our x-axis, one side which is our dy, which is parallel to y-axis, one side is our dz, represent dz, which is parallel to our z-axis. Now if we consider, there are flow of heat due to temperature difference from all these x, y, z and x, y, z direction from this element. The flow of heat from x direction is qx, which is entered in this element through phase ABCD. This is our ABCD. The amount of heat which is going to enter in ABCD is qx in a particular time d tau. At the same time, some amount of heat which is going to be exit from the element, which is going to exit from this phase, which is EFGH, which is qx plus dx. Amount of heat which enter is qx. At the same time, the amount of heat which is going to be exit from the element is qx plus dx. Similarly for y direction and z direction. Now suppose if 5 kilojoule of heat is going to be entered in this phase ABCD, at the same time if 2 kilojoule of heat is going to be exit from this element, then remaining 3 kilojoule is going to be stored within the element. So 3 kilojoule of heat is going to be stored within the element due to flow of heat in x direction. Similarly, because of y direction, similarly because of z direction, there are some heat which is going to be stored in element at a particular time instant d tau. Okay, so first we are going to find out that amount of heat which is going to be stored in element due to flow of heat in x, y and z direction. So let's start. Before starting, let's take some parameter. Let's T be the temperature of the phase ABCD. This is our phase ABCD and the temperature of this phase taken as T, which is uniform at all point because this is a very small element. So we can consider at all point of this ABCD the temperature is T. Now as this heat is traveling, this heat which is going to enter in this phase is qx. As this qx travel, how much distance? It will travel distance dx and going to be exit from EFGH. So because of this traveling distance dx, there will be a change in this heat, this qx, which is going to be qx plus dx. This qx plus dx represent the amount of heat qx which entered from this phase, and there would be some change in that qx, and after that change whatever amount will remain, it is qx plus dx. Okay, now to better understand this, let's understand this figure. Okay, at point x, this is temperature versus length diagram. At point x, it means at here the temperature is T. The temperature of this phase is T. At a distance x plus dx, x plus dx means this is our x plus this distance dx, it means you are here now. So if you are talking about this phase, the temperature would Tx plus dx. Similarly, at this point the amount of heat which is entering the phase is Qx. At Qx plus dx, it means at this phase the amount of heat which is going to be rejected is Qx plus dx. So what is this Qx plus dx and Tx plus dx? To how to write Qx plus dx and Tx plus dx? So Tx plus dx is nothing but it is Tx, the temperature at this point, plus change in that temperature because of distance dx. So this is the rate of change of temperature for the distance, how much distance it will travel, dx. Similarly, Qx plus dx is nothing but Qx, amount of heat which is going to enter here, and change in that much of heat because of traveling in a dx amount. How much distance it will travel, dx. So this dqx by dx represent rate of change of heat. Okay, so Tx plus dx is equal to Tx plus del T by del x into dx. Qx plus dx would be Qx plus del Qx by del x into dx. These two things you need to remember to derive any equation for Cartesian, cylindrical and spherical. Now we need to write down energy balance equation. There will be two things which is going to done here. First, net heat accumulation due to flow of heat in x, y and z direction, as I explained. Second, if there is some internal heat generation within the element, then we need to consider that amount of heat also. So heat generated within the element due to whatever reason, and because of these two, because of heat conduction from all x, y, z direction and due to with internal heat generation, the internal energy of the element will be changed. The temperature of the internal energy, the temperature of this volume is going to be increased. So is equal to energy stored in the element. You can select the energy stored in the element, and due to this energy the internal energy of the volume will rise. So we need to find out value of this A, B and this C. So first one is A, the net heat accumulated within the element due to conduction from all x, y and z direction. We will discuss about x first. So the quantity of heat is flowing into the left phase ABCD, so it is known as heat influx. Heat influx which is going to make entry from the phase ABCD. We can write down the value by Fourier's equation, which is minus k dt by dx. So the conductivity in x direction, let's take as a kx. So this is the conductivity in x direction. When we are going to talk about x direction, so heat will travel distance dx. So our area would be remaining two sides. So which are the remaining two sides? It is dy and dz. So this is dz and this is dy, which is our area. So when you are talking about x direction, flow of heat in x direction, your area would be dy and dz into del T by del x into, you have to multiply with a particular time interval, because we are talking about particular time interval. So you have to multiply d tau. At the same time interval, some amount of heat which is going to be rejected from this volume, which is known as heat efflux. Okay, and the amount of efflux would be Qx plus dx. Now we have already discussed that what is Qx plus dx. It is nothing but Qx plus change in this Qx. Change in this Qx because it is written as del by del x into Qx. How much distance it will travel, dx, into dx. Now the amount of heat which is going to be stored in this element due to flow in x direction, this is influx and this is efflux. So Qx minus Qx plus dx. So if we write Qx minus Qx plus dx, this is the value of Qx plus dx. This Qx will cancel out. The remaining term will be minus del by del x Qx dx. Now putting value of this Qx from previous slide, we will get this simplified form. This minus and this minus becomes plus, so it becomes kx dx dy dz d tau will be common. This is our equation. We can write down similar thing for y and z direction. This is for the x, so for y it would be del by del y, ky del t by del y, dx dy dz d tau. Similarly for the z, so this is three equations for the x, y and z direction. So that net heat which is going to be accumulated within the element because of flow of heat in x direction, y direction, and this is for the z direction. Now let's talk about the internal heat generation within the volume, which can be written as Qg into volume. This is the amount of heat which is going to be generated within the volume. Our volume is dx dy dz at a particular time interval, which is d tau. So this is the value of our B. Now because of A and B, there are some energy which is going to be stored in volume, and because of that energy, the internal energy of that volume is going to be changed. So the change in internal energy can be written as mCp delta T. Now instead of mass, we can write density into volume. So this is our density, this is our volume, this is our specific heat. This del T by del tau shows the rise in the temperature of our volume because of A and B at particular time instant d tau. So this is our A plus B is equal to C. Now put the value of A, B and C in this this equation. This is net heat accumulated due to heat conduction in XYZ direction. This is internal heat generated within the element, and because of this too, the change in internal energy of the element is this. In this equation, dx dy dz d tau is common and cancel. So the equation will simplify in this form. Now this is the basic standard equation of the general heat conduction equation for the Cartesian coordinates. Now you can simplify this equation by we have considered that kx, ky and kz, so that the material is our non-homogeneous, so conductivity of all the directions are different. But if we can first simplify this equation by using vector form. So by using vector, you can write down this equation in a simplified form like this. So this is the equation for non-homogeneous material, self heat generating, because this Qg shows this is the self heat generating. This del T by del tau shows it is unsteady because temperature is function of time. Now you can simplify this equation. If we consider our material as homogeneous, so kx is equal to ky is equal to kz is equal to k. So instead of this kx, ky, kz, we can common k from this all terms and divide the equation by k. So we will get simplified form like Qg by k is equal to rho c by. Now we know that this k by rho c is our thermal diffusivity, which is ability of material how fast it will diffuse heat from one end to the another end. So this is our one more simplified form. Other simplification of this equation would be when there is no internal source of heat generation. So when there is no internal source, no need to write this term. So we will get term like this. So this is known as the Fourier equation if we consider there is no internal source of heat generation. For steady state, so when we are discuss about steady state, there is no need to write down this term del T by del tau, because for steady state temperature is no more function of time, so it will reduce in like this. It is also known as the Poisson's equation. By using this Laplacian term, we can simplify this equation as we can write down this equation in this form also. When there is no internal heat generation, you can cancel out this form. You know, this is known as the Fourier equation again. We have already discussed for steady state, the equation will look like this, which is Poisson's equation. In the absence of internal heat generation, you can cancel out this term, and which is known as Laplace equation. For steady state, you do not need to write down del T by del tau. And one dimension, if you are going to talk about one dimension, no need to talk about y and z direction. The equation will reduce in this form. So for unsteady state, one dimensional without heat generation, the equation would be del 2t by del x square is equal to 0. For steady state, two dimensional without heat generation, it would be del 2t by del x square plus del 2t by del y square is equal to 0. And for unsteady state, one dimensional without internal heat generation, unsteady state, it means you have to introduce 1 upon alpha into del T by del tau. One dimensional, it means del 2t by del x square without internal heat generation, so no need to include in Qg term. So that's it for today. That are different simplified form of the general heat conduction of Cartesian coordinates. Thank you so much. In our next session, we will discuss general heat conduction equation for cylindrical coordinates as well as for the spherical coordinates. Thank you.